Hi, this is Larry.
And this is Katie.
And we belong to a CSA, which means that every week we get a bag of fresh produce. And this summer, we're going to make something every week and share it with you, fresh from Spring Hill. We like being members of Spring Hill for a lot of different reasons. We feel good about supporting a small family farm. We also like knowing that Mike and Patty are farming in an ecologically sound way and building the fertility of the soil. But maybe a more secret benefit is that some of this food is way better than anything you can get in a grocery store. This is particularly true about Spring Hill garlic. It's always so fresh, so firm, and so good tasting. Today we're going to be using the garlic along with some scallions, some cucumbers, the curly leaf parsley we got this week, the cilantro we got this week, and we'll probably use a few other things along the way to make a couple of sauces. We'll be making tzatziki sauce and chimichurri. Tzatziki is that Middle Eastern sauce that you might get on your falafel or your gyro sandwich, and it's made with yogurt and cucumbers and flavored with other things like garlic. We're going to start by taking these cucumbers, which I've already washed up, and we'll slice them in half the long way. And then we're going to pull out the soft center part with the seeds and discard that. Some folks might want to peel their cucumbers because the peels can be a little bitter. You might want to taste your cucumber peels and see. Yeah, these don't taste too bitter to me, so I'm just going to leave the peels on. Next, we're going to grate the cucumber. Then we're going to put our grated cucumber in a sieve and put the sieve over a bowl. Then we're going to salt and stir it up a little bit. And we're going to let this cucumber just drain. The idea here is to get rid of some of the excess moisture so that our tzatziki sauce isn't super runny. I'm also going to drain the yogurt to make it a little bit thicker. And you can put a cheesecloth in a sieve, or I didn't have a cheesecloth, so I'm using coffee filters. It works too. And we're going to use total about 2 cups of yogurt. While those drain, we'll get a start on the chimichurri. I've got some cumin seeds here, and what I'm going to do is toast them in a dry pan. And I'll just keep moving them around until they change color slightly and they give off this wonderful toasted cumin fragrance. And I think that's probably good enough. We don't want them to burn. The cumin seeds go into a bowl and they get crushed with the back of a spoon. They don't have to be crushed to a fine powder, just broken up a little bit. That looks good. Now I'll take all of our parsley and about half of the cilantro and just loosely chop it. And then I'll set that aside. Now we get out the blender, and we're going to throw in 2 of the Spring Hill garlic cloves and 1 of the dried red chilies from the first week that we remove the stem from and tear up a little bit. And we'll put in our cilantro and our parsley and our cumin seeds. I'm also going to put in the juice of half a lemon and some salt. I think I'm going to start with about half a teaspoon or a little bit less and then taste it and see how it is. Now the liquid that's going to allow this all to blend is going to be a mixture of oil and vinegar, sort of like any old salad dressing. And you'll want to put in some amount that looks like it's going to allow it all to blend, and where you have maybe 3 times as much olive oil as you have vinegar. I'm using red wine vinegar here, which I think is good for this recipe. And then we'll give it a whiz and see what happens. All right, this is looking like it might be chimichurri sauce now, but the most important thing to do is to taste this and to see what it needs more of. So let's do that right now. It's really bright and herbal and tangy and garlicky. That's delicious. Now it's time to get back to the tzatziki. Our yogurt and cucumbers have been draining. So now we need to chop up a couple of scallions. And we'll grate a clove of garlic. And Katie found this really nice dill at the co-op yesterday, so we'll chop up some of that too. Now we're ready to put together our tzatziki. We're going to throw in the yogurt, the cucumber, the scallions, the garlic, and the dill, and some salt. And then we'll mix this all together. Now you'll want to let this sit and let the flavors meld for a little while before you taste it and adjust the seasoning. So here we have our finished chimichurri, and chimichurri is really good on all kinds of things: meat, fish, vegetables, almost anything you can think of. And then here's our tzatziki, which is thick, and I can't wait to try this. And we've put together a few simple items. We've got some boiled potatoes, some roasted cauliflower, and then some lettuce and some raw carrots from this week's bag. We're going to give it a try.